So today was an interesting day. If you've never been to the mall in the Philippines, you are completely missing out on an experience of a lifetime. These places aren't like the malls you would think of in the US. These places are colossal. If you've ever been to the Mall of America in Minnesota, that's pretty close to what a standard mall is like when you go to the Philippines. They are 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 stories tall and take up acres and acres of real estate. And you are always going to be in a crowd of people. I didn't understand this when we first started coming here to the Philippines about a decade ago, until I realized that the country's hot and most people don't have air conditioning. But in the mall, it's always nice and cool, well lit, clean, air conditioned, and plenty of things to keep you busy throughout an entire day. So it's a great way to escape the heat of the afternoons. And I'm back. Apparently you're supposed to charge your cell phones periodically. Sorry about that. The battery died, so I've just hooked it up to the charger and we'll try and wrap this up a little bit quicker. Anyways, I spent the day in the mall today. We went to the SM Caloocan City. This is a new mall. It's been open for 2, maybe 3 years. This was my first time in it this week. We went there earlier in the week, went back today to run some errands. But I wanted to talk a little bit about privacy or modesty in the Philippines. And if you're ever gonna go shopping in the Philippines, it's not going to be a private event. So, for example, today I had an errand. I needed to go get some new underwear. All right, it happens every now and then. We've got to replenish our supply. So I walked into the local department store, the SM store, and headed over to the menswear section. And as I'm walking into the menswear section, I wasn't greeted by just one clerk. I was greeted by 4 different clerks that wanted to do everything they possibly could to help me out with my shopping experience. And that's pretty common when you're shopping here in the Philippines. The stores are full of retail associates, and their entire job is dedicated to just making your shopping experience more comfortable and easier. Now, if you're like me and you're more used to the American style of shopping and you want a little bit more privacy or you have some modesty issues, it does take a little bit more getting used to when you're shopping here in the Philippines. So these poor girls are doing everything they can to try and help me out. And all I want to do is just go hide in a corner because I'm trying to buy underwear. And that's not exactly something that you want to share with other folks, or especially a bunch of young ladies that are trying to help out this poor tired old man. Talking about a language barrier, when you're trying to explain to him that you need a little bit more space and comfort, how am I going to explain that one without getting embarrassed? So these poor girls were fantastic, and eventually they understood what I was looking for. They helped me to the right section, and they even offered to pick out a couple of different pairs for me to go try on. I opted not to try them on. I bought them, brought them home, and we'll see if it works. But my point is, if you're ever planning on shopping in the Philippines, be prepared for having that full experience. When you walk in, you're more often than not going to get a personal shopper to help you out with your adventure. So when you walk into a department store, find a retail clerk who can help you out. They'll guide you through the aisles and help offer suggestions, recommend products, or even just carry your goods for you while you're shopping. And then, of course, they're going to pull everything out of the packages, inspect it for the quality, which is amazing. Then you have no issues getting home and finding out that you've got a snagged thread or a missing button or something like that, because everything has been inspected to its fullest, just to verify that it's nice and things are well done. But I'll tell you, it's an awkward experience if you're not used to it. So I treated myself with some new underwear, then I went and I got a coffee and we called it a day. At the end of the day, it was a nice experience. I got my shopping done. I had to overcome some modesty issues, but hey, that's life in the Philippines.